How's it going, everybody? So we're doing our first official video. It's pretty exciting. We're going to be talking about ride shares today, whether it's Uber or Lyft, or even private rides that you may have already got scheduled. Now this channel is going to be focusing on everything when it comes to delivery. So we're talking about Uber, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Walmart Spark. Matter of fact, I'm making a video in a Walmart parking lot. But we're going to be doing all these things, and of course DoorDash. And we're going to be just explaining the goods, the bads, the uglies, of all these things. And like I said, today we're going to be talking about ride shares. So ride share can make extremely good amount of money very quickly, but it also cannot be profitable. So that's why it's really important to choose your rides carefully. So especially when it comes to Uber, reservations are awesome. You always want to try to get reservations. They're always usually going to have more money involved and tips. So whenever you see that hit your phone, make sure you're available, especially for the long rides. I'm in Middle Georgia right now, particularly in Dublin, Georgia. And so I'll get rides going from Dublin, Georgia to Atlanta. That's awesome. That's $100 in less than, 2 hours, depending on traffic conditions. It could be 2.5 hours, but that's $100 in not even 3 hours. So that's really good. And then when you get to Atlanta, there's even more rideshare opportunities, especially at the airport. Airport rides are great. Lyft is really good. When it comes to rides, they are a little more frequent than Uber in some situations. What I have come to learn is that Uber is more expensive than Lyft. So a lot of times I'll get more tips off of Uber than Lyft, and that's just the way it is. Now, I've had some insanely good rides off of Lyft. There was one ride I had, it was from Dublin all the way to Savannah, but it was for $135. So that's 2 hour drive from me. Actually, it wasn't even 2 hours because it wasn't all the way in Savannah. So, I mean, that was really, really good money. Really, really fast. But when it comes to Uber, I've also had really good experiences from tips. So I've had rides going to Atlanta, and then a guy tips me $30 on top of the 100. Or I had another guy, which was really, really lucky of me. He had broke down here in Dublin, and he lived on Tybee Island, which is right next to Savannah, Georgia. And I had Ubered him all the way over there. And he was so appreciative. He gave me $100 for a tip. So the ride was $100, and then there was a tip of $100. So I made literally $200 in about not even 2.5 hours. So amazing. But then there's there's these poor rides. So these rides that I'll get, you'll go 3 or 4 miles, only get like $4 or $5, and they don't tip. But those rides aren't always bad. You can easily capitalize on that, just as if you can do it really quickly. Those are pretty good. I will say a lot of insurance companies will use Uber and Lyft nowadays. They'll use these rides, for the older ones, which is exceptionally good. The older ones definitely needs it. But do remember, those rides will not have tips because it's coming from the insurance companies. So that's something to think about whenever you accept those kinds of rides. And a lot of times, depending on your credentials on Uber, you won't know you're taking that ride until you've already accepted it. So kind of keep that in mind whenever you're doing these rides like this. And also, yeah, just so you know, I'm not going to be editing this video. This is just purely me talking. So I'm going to get into editing eventually, but this is going to be a straight video. And I really appreciate the opportunity to get to explain all this to everybody. And I'm gonna have fun with this channel, being able to show what I do every day basically. But when it comes to rideshare, Uber and Lyft are awesome. Of course, Uber has Uber Eats. Lyft doesn't have any other external thing that you could do. But what eventually will happen is especially if you do rideshare a lot in your hometown, you develop a customer base. So you start having regulars. So I have a lady, she regularly, pretty much once a month, twice a month, goes to a doctor's appointment in Macon, Georgia. She's really, really nice, really lovely person. Excuse me. And so what we ended up doing, we made a deal, say, hey, you know, I'm gonna come and get you, and you'll be able to save money, you know, on the cost, and she pays me on the side. Now, that might not be technically okay. However, I'm insured with my insurance company for rides. I could do this without Uber or Lyft. You know, I don't need, their insurance or anything like that. I literally pay for my own. So I can do this independently. So that's not really an issue. So, you know, I was able yesterday to make $120 in less than 2 hours. You know, so that's awesome. And, you know, as long as you don't mind the driving, I mean, you can really make some good money doing rideshare. Rideshare accompanied with DoorDash, Walmart Spark, Lyft, Uber Eats, and there's several other gig apps that are starting to come out. But all those can really make you a lot of money and help you become independent. You won't have to work for other people. I find it easier to work 80 hours for myself than other people. I mean, it's way easier to punch in your own time clock than someone else's time clock. Trust me. And you can take pride in what you're doing. You know, you're able to, connect with people on your own terms. You know, if you don't feel good one day, hey, I'm going to stay home. My bills are paid, right? And so it's really good opportunity for everyone to be able to do this kind of stuff. I'm super happy to be able to do this kind of stuff with Uber and all these other gig apps. Matter of fact, I'm waiting on an order right now. You know, it's kind of slow in my hometown right now. I may end up leaving town. I may go out to another town to try it out. I was just, like I said, I was in Macon yesterday a little bit. Came back and worked some Walmart orders, you know. So there is some downtime to some of this stuff. However, the bigger the city you live in, the less downtime. So, you know, if you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to have a slower day, and you know you have a smaller town, you know, that might be okay. But if you tell yourself, hey, I want to make, $200, $300 in one day, okay, you're probably going to have to go out of town. If you live in a small population. Now, if you live in a bigger town, bigger community, higher population, then you should be fine. Especially if you have an area where they tip well, that's pretty awesome. So, just wanted to jump on and make this first ever video for our channel. Like I said, it's not going to be, the greatest edited video. And I am a little tired today, not going to lie. I've been working quite a lot, trying to catch up on a few bills, as it were. I had COVID the other week, so I had to catch up on some things. But we're going to have a good week. I'm going to be posting at least one video like this every single week. This video is mainly about rideshare. The next one I do will be about DoorDash and Uber Eats, kind of goes together. And then we'll have a separate one talking about Walmart Spark. Personally, I love Walmart Spark. I would rather do Walmart Spark all day long than the other ones because it's just way better money. However, DoorDash and Uber Eats have their benefits. And no, I'm not a Platinum Dasher, and I don't have high statistics on Uber Eats, but you can still make some very good money doing these things. So subscribe, like the video, let's build a community together. Let's show each other, let's make some money. And even if you don't want to fully go completely into the gig work and you want to do it on the side, let's learn together. I mean, you can have a full-time job, and after a full-time job, work a couple hours and make $40, $50. Why not? Or make even more, depending on what kind of Walmart order or food order you got. So let's do this together. Let's learn. And I would like to learn from y'all too. So comment below, about your experiences with ride shares. And in our next videos, we'll be learning more and more about the different, like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Walmart Spark. And if you have an app that you're favored with, you know, like your favorite gig app, please put it in the comments. Or maybe something I haven't mentioned. You know, let me learn from y'all. I would love that. So thank y'all so much. Like I said, like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next video.